Okay, guys, this is the beginning of the podcast, but we've recorded it after we've recorded the middle of the podcast. So, welcome to Podcast Inception. The reason why we had our first guest speaker, Sharon. She's from Texas, and she has a very, very, very funny story. So, you're going to want to listen to the rest of the podcast to get that.
Sharon's been with us. She's been in the college since 2024, but she is a baker who has a full-time day job where she goes into it 9 to 5, but she makes her bakery work after hours. And she had a giant order she's going to talk about. You're going to love to hear it. And then a Mustang in a bedroom. That's all I'm going to say.
Mustang bedroom giant order. That's all you need to know. So let's go back. We're going to do the intro to the podcast, and then we're also going to film the outro to the podcast. It's confusing. It's our first one. We
it is.
Together. This is what you guys wanted. You wanted this.
All right.
We are the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group on Facebook. You can find us on our website, sugarcookiemarketing.com. My sultry voice, compliments of some cold I picked up at the beach.
Nice. Keep it. I like it. I can understand you.
My sultry cold from the beach. The beach, thanks for everyone who wished us well in our cocktail and shrimp consumption. It was high, all-time high.
It was delicious. If you don't know, we are from a group on Facebook. It's called the Sugar Cookie Marketing Facebook group. Highly recommend joining. We actually have prompts like what's the bestseller thread, especially, July 4th coming in the 250th anniversary to see what people are doing. We've never had that holiday before. You can also have people have discussions, customer service related. You can see bits and pieces from the podcast, and then you can see like what's going on in the industry, what's new. Foreign app just came out. We made a post about that. So that if you
did you download it?
I did download it.
I didn't get an option to download it yet. Android's still there in the.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
So yeah, join us in that Facebook group. Join us on our Facebook page, the TikTok, the Instagrams.
Do you have a quote for us?
I do. I do. Yes.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I do. It's good to learn from your mistakes. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes. Warren Buffett.
And you're going to learn, don't hit the gas pedal from Sharon.
It's quite tempting with this. So right now, on the count of 3, I'm going to take the Sharon section, put it in here.
Okay.
And then Corey and I are going to boop out. And then we'll be back.
We'll boop back in.
Boop back in. So 1, 2, 3, here, Sharon. Corey and Sharon, I'm happy to have you on here. Just for the people listening, we've recorded this out of order. Okay. So this is actually the first part, but you're going to hear it as the second half of the podcast. But we're super happy to have Sharon to be our guinea pig. The poor girl sent me an email. And she was like, hey, I just want to say I listened to the podcast. I'll read her email in a second. And she was like, I'd love to be one of the speakers if you guys are having. And I was like, what about tomorrow? And she was like, what? She's
about
like,
that.
So we finally got the schedules aligned, which is actually going to be one of the questions I want to ask you, Sharon. But thank you so much for being here. The first.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Sharon, I'm going to have you do a quick intro, but I just want to read your email to me if you don't mind. Can I do that?
Sure. Go ahead.
And if you guys, I know I'm going to say this in the beginning of the podcast as well, my sultry voice, you enjoy it just this week. I'm on the mend, but for now you can understand me. She said, good afternoon. I've been listening to some of the podcasts lately, and I heard you ask for members to be a guest, if only to share a testimony. The episode for me was Nextcuses, and I believe there was an overwhelming task that you came up with a plan of attack. I'm going to try to make a long story short, but knowing me, short is still long. I'm a cookie cutter addict. I've got more than I need, and I was using Peak Nest app to log every cutter. I had an inventory of over 3,000 cutters, so much so that the app really couldn't accommodate me. So I'd been using their beta version. Last year, it crashed when it got me back in. I lost half of my inventory. I cried because in many cases, that app was the only way I could identify my cutters. I know there are cutters I will never be able to identify again. Even if I can figure out what they are, some of the shops are no longer in business. So sad. Typically, my approach to a task size would be to put the timer method, work 30, break 30, repeat. This 30 seems like it was never making a dent. And knowing the money I put into these had me had me depressed. I'm so sorry. In the episode, you took a different approach. I decided to do the same. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, I've set a goal of X cutters per day. In the last few weeks, I've logged 300 plus cutters versus the zero I was doing before listening. I've also given myself a come to Jesus attitude adjustment. Instead of viewing the financial loss that will occur as I come across those I can't identify, I'm embracing the fact that I'm able to purge them. At some point, I'll give all these unidentified cutters to a new cookier and let them experience that anxiety.
Sure.
One Sharon, that's so sad. That is so sad. But tell us what happened with that peak. I've never heard of the Peak Nest app. Peak Nest.
So, when I started this cookie journey, I happened to find a couple of local bakers that were giving up cookies, not because they weren't getting the business, just because different life events had happened and cookies just didn't play into the scheme of things for them anymore. And so I inherited probably 600 to 800 cookie cutters for free between these two cookiers. So in my mind, I'm thinking all cookiers are cookie cutter addicts, right? So I inherit all these. I find these buy sell trade groups, and I'm getting cookie cutters for like little or nothing. And before I know it, I've got, maybe a good 1,500 cookie cutters sitting here. And I'm like, how am I going to organize these? And I have posted in the group before, which it doesn't look like that now. So I don't want to post a picture for you. But I've posted in the group before how I had all my cookie cutters organized. I used Uline totes for them. I
Yeah.
have large ones for my bigger collections and smaller for something like say crab boil cookie cutters. I don't have very many of those. So I had them all categorized within the Peak Nest app. And I just Googled, I was like, I need an app to, do inventory. And what I would do, I had a picture of what the cookie cutter looked like decorated, took a
Smart.
picture of the cookie cutter, and I throw it in the app and I'd say, okay, here's a corn on the cob decorated or whatever, right? Um, and I didn't necessarily put who the cutter was from because I'm not that great at identifying that unless it's a green Cuts, and I know that right off the bat, right? The bad thing is with so many people with 3D printers, I don't know, is that green Cuts or is it
Yeah,
green
yeah,
from
true.
Sam down the street? I don't know. So anyway, Peak Nest is only like 30 something dollars a year
Yeah.
through Apple, but it's only for Apple products.
Darn.
I am team Android. I'm here. I'm staying here. My son is really for years has been trying to get me to go over. I could probably be y'all's parents. My son is like 35. I feel like y'all are in that age range there, in your, younger 30s. So I could probably be your parent. But and so for years he's been like, Mom, come to iPhone. No. And so he gifted me an old iPad a long time ago. That's what I was using. He gifted
Oh.
me a newer iPad a couple of years ago. And I guess as long as he keeps gifting, maybe someday I'll go to iPhone. But,
Once you have
for
the full
now,
suite, maybe I'll be tempted.
yeah,
Oh
for
yeah, I'll
now,
switch if you
phone.
buy me all the stuff.
No,
Right.
Mama Sharon will have to buy it for you.
So for now, the phone is staying Android though. So anyway, I would use the Peak Nest app through the little iPad he gifted me. And it was great. If somebody said, hey, here's the cutters I'm looking for, I could just get on Peak Nest and search this. Peak Nest could, however, like I said, not accommodate as many cutters as I had. Um, and so they had me using a beta version of the app. There were several people. I actually reached out to them and I'm like, hey, it's lagging a lot. And they were like, oh, you just have so much. We never really thought anybody would use it to this capacity. And so here, use this beta version. Well, the beta version is only meant to be a test version, not to live in, right? And
Oh,
so periodically it would have to refresh. I'd get a new link saying, here, use this. But I
Wow.
had never lost anything. September of last year, it happened. And I was devastated. And I'm like reaching out and scrambling,
yeah.
emailing the owner of the app. And I'm like, hey, like, what? Like I just didn't even know how to reply to this. And when I say I cried, I really cried about this
You'd
because I'm
almost
like,
have to.
that's every, like, I have no way of identifying. Now I have the point, I'm at the point that I have so much inventory. How do you even go through Google reverse image? All of that is hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
do for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking at this and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to identify some of these without the pictures. And so I've just had it sit there for months. Um, Look, I am guilty of not using my membership to its full advantage of everything I should be doing in there. And I had never listened to the podcast. I had jumped in the group a few months back and I was like, hey, I've been asked to teach a baby shower class and I don't know where to begin with this. Like, have y'all ever thought about doing a class for Summerween or, Christmas in July or whatever? And I never saw a response from either of you from my post. And so, like, 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, what's it take to get a response here? And somebody replies, have you listened to the podcast? No, I haven't. What episode should I go listen
Oh,
to?
yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, another part of the membership, I'm not, well, and you don't even have to be a member to hear this, but another thing I'm not using to my advantage. So started listening. Here comes the Nextcuses. And I was actually driving to Houston. My son lives in Houston, and he was expecting a daughter. And so I'm driving to Houston, and that's about a 3.5 hour drive for me from Fort Worth. And I'm listening to the podcast, and this is the episode that comes up. And it's just this aha, come to Jesus, moment. The angel are like, hey, try this. And so while I was down there, I was like, okay, what's another plan of attack for me? Because the thing that made it overwhelming, all of those in those totes or cases that I had them in, to go pick a big one
Oh,
just seemed overwhelming,
yeah,
right?
sure.
Okay. Well, the part of the story that I've neglected to share, when I say I'm an addict, I really mean that. Um, that hadn't stopped me from buying cutters since
Don't let anything
September.
slow you roll, girl.
Yeah. So now so now not only do I have that big task of those, I have boxes of mail that have been piling up since September. And literally, I've been throwing them in a room, and that room could have almost been going towards like an episode of Hoarders. And so I was like, you know what? She took a different plan of attack that was not overwhelming to her. What can I do? Instead of starting with those, I'll start with the mail. But I don't have totes to put them in. So what can I do? Went to the Dollar Tree, bought 2.5 gallon Ziploc bags,
Great.
made the bags be like my categories. So for example, I have a birthday bag, I have an Easter bag, I have a Christmas bag. And I just started categorizing the mail
Love
that
it.
came in. And what I do when I buy cutters from somebody through Marketplace or one of these buy sell trade groups on Facebook, I screenshot everything I buy. So I have those
Smart.
Smart.
pictures, save it in Messenger. So when they're messaging me saying, give me your address to pay, I throw those screenshots in there. So when the mail comes, I can just go search Messenger and I
Nice.
can say, oh, I bought these from Heather. Here's my pictures. And that's how I
Mm,
inventory.
smart.
So the first part of tackling this was finding a new app to use for inventory. I
Which,
use Sweet Bites app, which I believe
oh,
she's also a member of Cookie College. I've
She
seen her
is.
in there. I will say it was a little difficult for me to understand that app at first, but now I'm in there. I'm happy to say that since sending you my email, since listening to that episode, I've already just this. I don't know if I'm happy about this. This is probably a little cookie cutter anonymous meeting admission here, confession. I've already logged. All of my mail is done.
great.
Oh,
Now I
good.
can start
Congratulations.
tackling those totes one at a time. Um, but I've already logged over 1,200 cookie cutters.
Girl, good night. That was from
Wow,
300 to
great
1,200.
job.
Yes. And so it really was just hearing that episode, something clicking. And, now I can go back to my timer method or choose one small tote to
Yes.
work on. And if I can't identify it, like I think part that was so devastating was knowing like some of those were free, but some of those I put money in,
Sure.
and it's a loss.
It is.
There is some loss in there,
Mhm.
but instead of focusing on the loss, like I said, we're just going to make it a purging moment.
I like it.
I already have a big box. Like I should probably already start trying to give some of these away, because I already have a big box. Uh, and then you know what's so sad that I'm finding?
What? Dupes?
Yes.
Ah.
It's just like, man, if only
I
you had logged
know.
the right.
I
And
know.
that's just in my mail that I bought, where I bought dupes.
Oh, shoot.
Really sad. I bought dupes from the same person.
Yeah, there
No.
it is.
Really sad. So anyway, that's my moment. I look forward to, having more aha moments in the podcast. Thank you for all you do. Like, truly appreciate y'all. I didn't even realize this piece of gold was out here,
That's
and
great.
I'm happy I found it. So thank you.
That's
Well,
so great.
Sharon, thank you so much. If you're just tuning into the podcast right now, the Nextcuses one is you can have your excuses or you can have your results. And Sharon took it to heart. And I appreciate that. I suffer from the same thing. And I was the one who recorded the podcast. We did a video boot camp recently, and I suffer from collecting clips, video clips, and not editing them when I
Mm.
need to. So then it feels daunting to look at my iPhone and be like, wow, there's so many videos I need to edit. This is going to take about 5 to 6 hours. Whether if I broke it down like Sharon did, I could make a video fairly quickly. Top of mind, I just filmed the clips, but we are our own worst enemies. And it's overcoming these excuses, knowing who we are as people and then being like, this is who I am, but this is who I want to be, and taking those steps. Like, Sharon, that's a ton of cookie cutters. I know I have a lot, and I think my come to Jesus aha moment was last year when I said I have got to find out where these belong. They don't belong together, so we have
Right.
to divide them far apart. So I've gone through my cookie cutters and put them in different bins. Probably not as specific as yours. Like birthday is like
Mm.
fairly large. Like you got to have like there's an astronaut in there. I know he'd be living in there, but I use it mostly for over the moon, something like that, some birthday set like that. So that's really encouraging that you took that to heart. The podcast are just words to listen to. It takes the action is all you guys.
Right.
Sharon, how much time do we have you for before you gotta leave us?
Oh no, I am actually off today.
Oh, girl.
I actually took off today. So
You're
yeah.
so crazy. Well, I'd love to
Yeah.
ask you some questions. Here's the thing about
Sure.
Sharon. She took the video boot camp, which I took it too. Even though I edited it, I'm also gonna do it. But you actually did it. So if you guys are new to the boot camp concept, which I'm sure we talked about before we recorded this in this backwards podcast episode, the June boot camp was recording cookie videos, which Corey taught us about. Now I edited the videos, and the whole time I'm having my own come to Jesus moment that I apparently fear the camera lens. So Sharon actually had this
Definitely.
cool thing she did. She ordered the Meta Ray-Ban knockoffs off of Temu or something, and then she was going to tell us about them. But then you went an extra step, forgot the glasses, and you went to a restaurant, recorded yourself, and did like I want to let you know that was delicious looking, the place that you went to. But that was so well recorded. It was so interesting. If I was local, I would have loved to have watched that. Did you post it to your socials?
I did. So a couple of things I want to say about the boot camp. I didn't follow boot camp 100%.
Right.
I didn't use InShot. I
Oh.
just went ahead and jumped. My son a few years ago, I had did a couple of videos for fun, and one is my play on. I'm in a pool, and there was like this CapCut template of this lady slapping her thighs together and the water shoots
Yeah,
out.
I know.
And
I know
so,
exactly what you're talking
okay.
about.
But I took the opportunity to combine that with the lyrics from Cardi B song, grab
Yes.
a bucket and a
Yeah.
mop, the
I
macaroni
know
in
the
a
song.
pot, and I'm doing all of this stuff at our neighborhood pool. But I'm in the kiddie pool portion of it. And it's my son and one of his friends are recording this. But for the big splashes, like he is throwing a bucket of water on me. And so if you see this, the second bucket, I'm really not ready for. And it actually throws me over in the
Girl,
pool.
you were fully dedicated.
So I used CapCut because that's what I had used
Okay.
before. Although I am going to say, and here's where my age may show, and no shade to anybody else in their 50s. I suddenly feel like my mom, like when my stepdad passed away, my mom didn't even, wouldn't do the ceiling fan. She would call one of the kids to come over and, hey, the ceiling fan is
As
on
you
too
should.
high. Can somebody come change it? And I remember thinking like, oh my God, reach up and pull the freaking string. Like, what are you doing? Right? Now that she's passed, like I'd give anything to get the phone call to come
Oh,
change the setting on the ceiling fan. But she would call for anything. Like she'd call one of my brothers. She had like the satellite cable thing, and she's a huge Yankees fan. And so, God forbid something happened to that satellite cable while the Yankees are on, and it's the distress call,
oh,
of like,
it's
oh my God, somebody
911.
get over here.
What's your
Yeah.
emergency? The Yankees. I can't
we
tell.
got a fan
Now I
on
can't.
too fast and the Yankees aren't on at
Right.
all.
Yes. So I couldn't tackle that. So one of my brothers would have to go. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, like, but now here I am that person. And it's probably my son saying, oh my God, like just do it. Because those CapCut videos from a couple of years ago, he had to help me with.
Okay.
Now I have this bestie called ChatGPT
Hey, man.
who I jumped in
Oh,
ChatGPT, started a thread, and I'm like, hey, I have been challenged to go create a reel. I know the place I want to stop at on my way home from Houston. Give me some tips. How am I going to do this? And it told me, I want you to get a shot when you pull up. I want you to get a shot walking up. I want you to walk in, pan the room, and show everybody what it looks like. Take a picture of the menu if you can. I mean, it literally told me all of these things.
that
Nice.
storyboarded
So
it for you.
so for you to tell me like, hey, this is great. And now the bad thing ChatGPT can't do, it can't watch a video if I'm
Yeah.
uploading it. So it couldn't really tell me like, okay, edit out this part or do the
Sure.
middle 5 seconds of this video.
Yeah.
But it did tell me, hey, don't go shoot a minute at one time. You want 5 to 10
Nice.
seconds at a time. So it's less editing on you. I didn't necessarily use it to edit, except for I didn't. So I just threw those things into CapCut, put them together, and then I was like, okay, now tell me, how do I add text, but only to this portion so it doesn't
Yeah.
go through here? How do I add? And it actually told me to add that background classical music to. I searched waffle music and very oddly because it was a Waffle House. I was a waffle company
What
place,
do you guys got?
and so it gave me this classical music. I don't know why it's named Waffle, but whatever. And so it really walked me through. So I know there are a lot of people, you're either for or against AI, and there's no in between. But I've embraced it. I do work full time. I do cookies. That's my part time. I work full time for a bank. I close SBA loans.
Oh, no
Um,
way.
which is a lot, man. My prior closing experience, I've closed residential, I've closed commercial
Wow.
real estate. I've closed loans that were $100 million loans before. I
Wow.
never did as much work on a closing as I do on a small business administration
Really?
loan.
That's what
No
you hear
way.
when the brick and mortar people are opening. They said, whatever you guys are asking for, it's like they're crying tears. They have to provide you so much information.
So I have worked for this bank where I'm currently at for I think I just hit my 10-month mark.
Oh, wow.
And for these loans, like a small business loan, they average 1 to 5 million. Most of them are around that $1 million.
Sure.
These are the hardest loans I have ever, this is the hardest job I have ever had.
Wow.
It is because of the government requirements.
Yeah.
When I tell you I have, and shut me up if I'm going down a
No, I
rabbit hole
love
here
this. I
that you
love
don't want to
this.
go on.
I
If I'm
love this
taking up too much
insider
of
stuff.
y'all's, if I'm taking up too much of y'all's time, like just say, hey, zip it, because I will ramble on. So stop me if you need
No,
to.
I think this is
Um,
great. I think a lot of bakers who have brick and mortars on the brain are thinking, what is an SBA loan entail? So this is great information.
Listen, it's not impossible
Okay.
to do, but it is a lot to do. And I am the backside of it. So I'm not the loan officer that you're meeting with that's
Oh,
starting the process. I'm the end of the process. And what I see in my loans, you may have already been working with somebody 2 to 6 months before it ever even gets to the process in the bank where it goes before a loan committee for approval.
Wow. So what's
Once
your
it's
what's your title?
I am an SBA loan closer.
Loan
So
closer. Okay, go on, go
I
on.
jump, so I come in at the point that underwriting is truly underwriting your loan, and either it's about to go for approval or it has been approved by credit loan committee, right?
Yeah.
And then it would get assigned to me, and I come in then and I'm going to review your approval package, which is usually somewhere around a 30 to 40 page document that I'm looking at. That it's got, the meat and potatoes of it up front, of like what your rate's going to be, what your term is, blah, blah, blah. But then we get back into collateral you're providing
oh,
and all of your personal business, really. What is different about SBA loans for me? Again, I've closed my last bank I was at, I was only doing commercial real estate loans.
okay.
That
Wow.
could be developments of an entire neighborhood. So, say for
Wow.
example, I live here in my neighborhood development that's just finishing up, and they've been building here for about 5 years now,
Yeah.
6 years. So when this builder came to get funding, the bank I was at actually funded
That's so
this
funny.
You
this
funded yourself.
development.
Kill it.
I used to work for this home builder a long time ago at
It's so
their corporate
crazy.
office. Um, and the funny thing is, the way this is actually my son's house that I rent because he had to move to Houston. Here's where I'm going to get off track if you don't reel me in. He's an air traffic controller.
No way.
And
Wow.
so he moved for work and it moved to Houston. And so because I'm here in Fort Worth, I was like, I'll just take over
We
the
love
mortgage
this son.
payment
We
for
love
you.
whoever this son is. Bring him on.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
want one.
We have a very close relation. I have so many friends that are like, I love y'all's relationship at the age that he is, that y'all are still so close. But
Adorable.
um it's because I come from a family of seven
Wow.
siblings. My mom was married and divorced 4 times. The kids are
Yeah, go
spread
mom.
apart. I
Go
think
mom.
from the oldest to the youngest, there's like a 22
No
year
way.
age difference.
I
So
like your
we are
mom. Your
very
mom's like,
spread
I'm gonna have
apart.
somebody fix my technology. I can
Oh my
guarantee it.
God.
Sharon, go
So I only
back
had
to the.
one. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I like
back to
that.
loans. Sorry, back to loans. So in my past closing life, for something like doing this development over here that I live in, I would not have had to have jump into that developer's personal business. Like I have to jump into Heather's personal business if
Right.
Please
she
do.
wants to come get a loan. And that is government requirements.
How deep are we
So
talking? Like, are you
we
asking?
we are talking deep,
Oh,
deep. I have to, so you're going to be required to make a good faith deposit, right?
okay.
The account you send that from you're going to have to give me 3 months of bank statements
Wow.
prior to sending that wire. That now I
Wow.
am going to have to go dig through, because SBA, the government wants to confirm that, number one, you had those funds in there, that Corey didn't loan you $5,000 to send
Right.
in as a deposit. And so I am literally going through, I'm not so much concerned about your expenses in your account,
Oh,
but
funny.
I am concerned about deposits that have come into that
Oh,
account 3 months prior. Do you have a job and that's where those deposits are coming from? Or are there deposits that incoming wire, what is that from?
Yeah.
Right. And I have to question that.
does
And
the
if it,
organization of the business, if I was an LLC, do you still got to get deep into my own personal?
yep, deep into your
Ah,
own personal, if you, so, okay. So on an SBA loan, I haven't seen just a loan come through. And let me just say this. I am used to, before coming to SBA, I'm used to having a pipeline of anywhere from 10 to 30 loans going on at one time.
wow.
I'm used to closing, on average about 15 to 20 loans a month.
Oh
I
my
come over
goodness.
to SBA, and since I've been here, so I started at this bank in August of last year, and I was told, hey, this is hard. This is nothing like you're used to. The details are so much more extreme.
Hmm.
And in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm an overachiever. I can do that. Like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to learn every other job. I feel like I've learned faster than they anticipated I would. And I was able to
Yeah.
take off running and go on my own. Here, they're like, it's going to take you about a year before you're able to work on your own. And I'm
You
like,
kidding?
get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know me, right?
Yeah.
No, no, they don't know me, but they knew SBA, because here I am 10 months in and I'm still like, this is so overwhelming. There's so much to it. So you apply, and there's going to have to be a guarantor on
Oh,
that loan. So chances are you're going to apply as Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, but at least one or both of you are going to come in as guarantors as individuals, right?
no
And
Oh.
way.
so if that good faith deposit, because here's what I see, um, you don't know where you should be sending stuff from, right? A new business or somebody trying to jump into this business because they're buying it from somebody else or whatever, they don't know, hey, you should have a business account and everything should be flowing in and out of this,
Okay, you
right?
heard it. If you heard
Yeah.
it from Sharon, guys, if you're listening, that is
And
so easy with that.
so and so here they are. You may have a couple of personal accounts and you're like, oh, okay, well, I got to move funds from here to this account so I can send out one $5,000 wire. Well, now I see funds coming out of there, or I see funds incoming from Charles Schwab. And now I have to say, okay, now guess what? Give me 3 months of that account
Oh
that I have to go look at,
no.
because you have to prove. So sadly, here's the thing, it's SBA putting all of these guidelines in because they guarantee the loan, but only
Sure.
at 75%. And so
Oh.
you have a bank saying, I'm willing to take a risk on you
Mm.
because it's only a 25% risk for me.
Yeah.
It's 75% risk for the government. However, the government, if you happen to default on that loan, and people do default on these, sadly,
Yeah.
if you default on that loan in the first 2 years, SBA is coming in and they are going to audit that with a fine tooth, like one of those little lice nitpicking
Yeah.
combs. They are coming through looking for any reason that they do not have to guarantee that loan at 75%.
Oh my
So
Any
then it
goodness.
falls
way,
back to the
if
bank?
that the government can get out of reimbursing the bank 75%. Yes.
Wow. So
And
you
so
are
what
on
they
the line. You specifically.
Yes. Yes. So what they want to do is come in and say, "Hey, we're auditing her bank statements, and look, this money was a gift. She never really had those funds herself. She was never in a position to be financially responsible for this. Why did you approve that?" Now,
Wow.
let's be honest. If you're getting a SBA loan, um, you probably couldn't get a loan someplace else. You didn't have adequate collateral for
Oh,
another bank
interesting.
or even for you to come directly to our bank. That's what these
Mhm.
loans are for. You don't have the adequate collateral. Sometimes, if you're doing like business acquisition and there's vehicles involved, now those vehicles have to be collateral. Anything we can take extra, if you have let's say, personally, you're good financially. You have a home, you have a couple of rental properties.
Yeah.
Guess what? Those rental properties are now going to probably have to be taken as collateral for us.
Wow. Would they ever do
Just
personal residence as collateral?
not your personal residence,
Okay.
but if you have extra, right, then those would
Yeah.
probably be collateral.
Question for
But
you.
and that's just something I haven't seen yet, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
My volume of closings is nothing like what I'm used to at other banks here
Because you
because
have
they
so
are
many
harder.
details.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
So they told me when I started in August, they're like, you'll probably only close one loan this year.
No
This
way.
And I
year?
was like, what? And so I get in my first loan, and I have focused only on, there's a couple of different types of SBA loans you can do. You can do 7A, and don't get me to start talking on what the differences are because I just don't know enough about it yet. But there's 7A, there's a 504 loan, and then I think there's like an SBA Express loan. I
Okay.
haven't done Express and I haven't done 504 loans. I have focused solely on 7A loans. Um, come in August, get assigned my first loan. Guess what? That loan closed in September. So here I am ahead of the game.
Yeah.
By
Feel
Get it,
good.
by
Sharon.
January 1st, I had already closed 3 loans, which was crazy
Wow.
because they didn't expect it. But it's just how fast they were moving and there are different kinds of loans. One was a business acquisition. One was a franchise business.
Oh.
One was a construction ground up business,
Wow.
ground up
Oh.
construction. So there's different types of loans, but just the detail, and that's just the equity portion is what comes into your personal bank accounts. But there's different things that are required that I've just never seen before. And so it's just a lot to take in. I can only imagine being on the other side of that
Oh,
and being overwhelmed because there's probably a ton of stuff you've provided before it gets to me. Once
Oh.
I get that approval, my first 1 to 2 business days of working on your loan is putting together a needs list of things I think I need.
yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm getting that email out to you. Our loan officer or SBA specialist is probably going to set up a Zoom call so there's an introduction between
Oh,
you and
wow.
I. Um, it's just a little more personal than you getting emails, right? And
Mm.
one thing that I've found, if you're frustrated with me as the borrower or
Yeah.
I'm frustrated with you as a closer, seeing you face to face, it's a little harder to be mean or
Oh,
ugly to
Sure.
that's
somebody.
nice.
Yeah.
If
That's a great
if
life tip.
you if you have, now they're human, right? Because
Yeah.
you have they've been humanized, and so it's just also great for the business model of it. Of, hey, I see you, I'm here for you. I'm a person just like you. We're going to work through this together. How can I help you with these things? The bank has certain requirements for insurance, so you're definitely going to have to get general liability. You're probably going to have to get business personal property. If there's vehicles involved that we're taking as collateral, now I need this. And so
Oh.
it's like, hey, let me work with your insurance agent and take that off of you
Oh,
if
that's
you want
nice.
that. If
Yeah.
you don't, go for it. And there may just be a lot of emails back and forth of, oh no, they didn't list the bank as additional insured, or on this policy, the bank has to be listed as lender loss payee or whatever. And so there's those details that I can take off your plate.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of these SBA loans, every one that I have worked has required you to get a life insurance policy
No
No
on
way.
way.
on the main, or sometimes both people, depending on what role you play, a life insurance policy on the amount of the loan.
Wow.
Wow.
Question for
Yeah,
you. Since we can just do hypotheticals, would
right.
you, as a bakery business owner, ever take an SBA loan? Now that
No,
you know you
no,
wouldn't?
no.
Why? Why?
Well, okay, so several reasons. First of all, I I don't think I ever want to be brick and mortar, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. Like
Great. That's a great
I
reason.
am I'm here for the cottage baker life. Um, Look, you can see from I'm smiling now because I'm laughing at myself, but I have hard RBF here going on. I am not the face of any business, which is why I have loved being
Sharon.
a back office employee. Okay. Um, I think my face is meaner. It looks meaner than I am, right? And so
As your nails match your glasses, match your
if,
outfit.
if
Bright
you
pink
get
and fun.
past this, if you get past this tough exterior, well, then you get to know who I am, whatever. But I just never want to have that. But also, I just, oh, I can't imagine like I am doing cookies in the sense that I hope it, can supplement travel income,
That's nice.
or with me about to be 55 next month, maybe, 5 years down the road, it's good supplemental income when I
Sure.
want to quit working, right?
Yeah.
That I can still hustle cookies as a cottage baker
Oh, I can.
and, maybe make some money. I am nowhere near that point yet because I'm still trying to figure out how to grow my business. I'm in all the community pages and and I go through these spurts of I'll be really busy with orders and then now it's just crickets. And so I can use that time to work on inventory and cookie cutters. Although I've taken a
Videos.
break from that,
Yeah.
because now I'm on the thing of, okay, I got to get my website built. And
You
so I'm
go.
using ChatGPT to build out my Shopify website.
Oh, you went with Shopify. I was going to ask you.
I did, just because I that's what Mixing Bowl
It is.
cookie company
Yeah, it
It
uses,
is.
is.
right? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I was like, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. So I'm in here trying to do it. Me and ChatGPT have had some arguments
Well,
about different things,
it's
but
Darren, it's nice for you. It's a good idea to push back on that. That's how chat
yeah,
says, you know.
yeah. But I find myself in a thread and I'm taking literal pictures of my laptop and I'm like, this is what I'm seeing. Tell me what to do next. And we have this plan of attack. There are bullet points within the thread. Now, what I find, this is a really long thread, and so I have to remind ChatGPT sometimes it'll say, hey, let's go do this. And I'm like, no, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Like, let's get back to this and let's finish this,
Boss
right? And
Sharon.
so
What's it to
yes. Oh
say?
my gosh. Yes. So, and then it'll apologize and it was like, you're right. We're not supposed to be doing that. And I'm like, okay. But I'm worried about the things that I'm going to forget and whatever. And so I keep a list. And so I'm crossing things off one at a time. The sad thing is I had paid somebody to build that website for me and life got the best of
Well,
them. And we've wasted 3 months only for me to find out they really did nothing on the
well,
site.
shoot.
Wow.
And so it came back to me about a week ago, and I've probably spent 10 hours in there, which is probably more than it would have taken somebody else. And I'm about 70% finished right
But
now.
look,
So
you'll know
hoping,
exactly how
hoping
the
to be
back end
lasting.
works. Those tiny tweaks you need. Like Corey's pretty dependent on me. Sorry.
Yeah.
But now
Don't go
you'll be
anywhere.
able to do it yourself. So,
Unfortunately, I don't have a twin, but I
shit.
will make the most of my Chat GPT.
Your,
Because
your chat,
Basically,
your
twin,
my
chat
son
twin.
does not have the time. My son does not have the time to help
shoot.
me with the new baby. So
How is
Oh,
it juggling? This is what I want to ask because I mean, you sound like you're extremely well versed in banking. How is it juggling a full-time job that's eating up all your time and then a part-time cookie business that's also wants to eat up all your time?
so it can be difficult, it can be challenging. In my mind, I have had um, this thought that I have to have 2 weeks notice on a cookie order, right? I just
Fair.
have to,
Mhm.
because my time is limited. Um, I think that's some stupid thought I put in my mind. In a perfect world, would I love to have 2 or 3 weeks notice? Yes, I'd love to get you on
Sure.
the
yeah.
calendar. What I see most people coming to me are last minute though. Very close to me is another cookie college member, Keenan.
Yeah.
who does Mama's Treats. I've been to a few of her cookie decorating classes. And so I actually had something happen a few months ago. I had somebody reach out to me, and I should have took the order, but I didn't believe in myself.
Oh, Sharon.
I think they needed 10 or 14 dozen
It's a lot.
Oof.
cookies for a softball banquet.
Okay.
And there was probably only a week turnaround.
Woo.
And I was like, you know what? I don't think I can help you. I sent them to Keenan. And the sad reality of that is, yes, I sent them to another baker. Yes, I got them what they needed. The sad reality in that for me is I'm never going to get that customer back. They're never going to come back to me. They're always going to go back to her now when they need something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and that's not the first time that's happened to me. That's the second time. Just because me not believing in how I could juggle my time.
Okay.
Now, from Keenan was selling a manual dough sheeter. And I'm going to tell you, I want a Eugene so bad because I am tired of cranking the manual
Yeah.
one.
Oh.
And sometimes I'll be cranking it so much the freaking handle falls out because it's loosened up and then it hits the floor and I'm like, okay, time to tighten that. That is a game changer.
Okay.
Whoa. I came home one night, so this is after I gave away that order to Keenan. I had a business reach out and they were like, I need 30 dozen cookies for a trade show.
30 days.
And I'm going to need them. And they did give me a month's notice.
Okay.
But I had this wonderful little dough sheeter. And so for me, it's about planning. It's about coming up with a plan of attack. Every weekend, I make my to-do list for the week. I'm looking at my calendar. Do I have cookie orders? What is due? How am I going to plan this out? I'm going to do all my baking on Sunday, and then I'm going to start planning out, okay, how many dozen of these can I decorate? That 30 dozen, I hand decorated those.
Oh, girl. Oh, girl.
Because I had not done my training for my little blue
Oh,
printer
you could
yet.
have printed them? You had the printer, but you hand piped?
Yes. So, well, there's a story behind that. And again, here's where I say, if you don't shut me up from rambling, we're going to be on here and I'm going to take up your whole podcast. You're going to have a lot of editing to do.
No, you've been great.
But so on the 30 dozen, made all my dough up. And I said, you know what? I am not about to roll out 30 dozen cookies. So when I would come home from work first night, rolled out 10 dozen, 10 dozen cookies, got those baked, threw them in the freezer.
Right.
Next night, come home, 10 dozen, get them baked in the freezer. Third night, same thing. The next night, I took a night off. That's when I pulled those one box out of the freezer and said, okay, now I'm going to decorate these 10 dozen. Well, now I'm almost at the weekend. And so I decorated all 30 dozen of those over the weekend.
Oh my goodness. Was it the same design for all 30 dozen?
No. So they were this is a Christmas lighting company.
Oh, yeah.
And they were working a trade show. And so they wanted all Christmas theme because
that's fun.
Here's where Small World comes in. First of all, I know them personally, and they love my cookies. So it was kind of a shoo-in for me.
Yeah.
But they go around and they solicit like the neighborhood. So they actually do the lighting for the neighborhood I live in.
That's so funny. You're so connected.
And the entry to the neighborhood, you'll see like the wreaths and the lighting. They go around and they hit up the neighborhoods, the HOAs, whatever, and property management companies, anything like that. Right. They're hitting up those companies, but they're also doing look, there are some predominantly wealthy neighborhoods here in DFW, as anywhere, and they're targeting those neighborhoods because you may spend $10,000, to put lights on your house, especially some of these neighborhoods where it's a big thing for you to come drive through those neighborhoods. Yeah. And so they're targeting those people. Will they also do your house, even though you're not paying them? Yeah, they will, but you're not their target customer, right?
Yeah.
So these were 10 different designs they asked for that were all Christmas related. So they got 3 dozen of each design. It was doable, but it was a lot. And so there's where I use my timer method.
I like it.
Okay, let me do this and walk away for a minute and then come back to it.
Yeah.
And so it didn't feel quite as overwhelming. The story behind my printer, I sat in, so I stalked some Eddie groups and some icing images groups. What is the other one?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember. Edible images?
Maybe is it
intricate edibles?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that one is like the most expensive one. And so in my opinion, the one I was looking at, and it just looked odd to me, and not to sway anybody else's decisions, but that one just off the bat came out for me. Like it was never, that one was never an option. It was always going to be a Little Blue, or used to be called Blue Junior, I think. Now it's called a Little Blue. It was always going to be that or an Eddie. As I was stalking the groups, I felt like I saw more people put out the call, throw up the bat signal saying help with this, or my sassy tray isn't doing this, or this is this. And I was just like, I'm sassy enough. I don't need a tray. Like I am not, Eddie is not for me. Sorry. He's just not. So, so I decided several months prior to pulling the trigger, it was going to be Little Blue. And the funny thing is, icing images was probably like, I wish she would just pee or get off the pot already, because I would call them and I'd ask questions. And I had so many questions about, what if I can't afford to drop, the money all? What are financing options? What are this? What is that? And it just so happened at the time that I landed this job with SBA, which actually fell in my lap. They came and found me.
No, that's not talk about wanted.
I was like, you want me? I don't have SBA experience. They were like, yeah, but your closing experience is this. And somebody here at the bank actually knows you from closing. And because of your detail oriented, they suggested you. So let's talk about this. And this ended up being about a $15,000 a year increase for me.
Congratulations.
Over that 6-figure mark with this. And I'm a little good into it with this, because I was just right under it at my last bank. But in leaving, I was like, okay, I have my 401k money. Didn't pull it all out, but I did pull 5,000 out that I'm going to eat the slap on the wrist for. And I was like, let me just buy it now. So this arrived. I ordered with icing images, though. They don't have, Eddie may ship as soon as you buy it.
Yeah.
Icing images is more like a, hey, you order, and when we get a pull, then we're going to have these made. And so, whereas I paid for that in August, it didn't actually ship out until October. I was on a cruise, though, so I was like, you need to wait.
I like how you spent this $15,000.
No, well, so I get this a whole other thing. I get free cruises from Carnival from their casino. So where I only I'm paying for like my taxes and port fees. Sometimes I'm paying a little bit on the room, but it's little or nothing for me. So I'm going to cruise 9 times out of 10 because I can't go anyplace else for the price that I can cruise for. So I was on a cruise, so I was like, hey, don't ship yet. Wait to ship. So they ship in November when I'm back. You have to be here because it's a bulky thing. Comes in a big crate, like a big wooden crate, like the fragile lamp. It's like a crate like that.
No way.
And so they have it arrives on a FedEx truck that has like this ramp that lowers down because it's so heavy. and then they pull it on like a pallet jack thing, and the pallet is what they're bringing up, but they're not going to put it in the house for you because it's so bulky.
Yeah.
So here I come home, and I tell my job, I was like, hey, I'm going to work a half day from home. And so I come home, and as I'm pulling into the driveway, something hits me to call one of my son's friends. Like, it just overwhelmingly comes on my heart. His mom had passed just a couple of weeks ago. They were extremely close, like myself and my son are. And so it just came on, like, let me call him. And I'm sitting there in the driveway talking to him. And I'm crying because, like, I'm emotional for him because I've known this kid since he was in the first grade, and here they are 35. And so, in my head, I still picture all of these kids who are grown men now as like the little first graders that I met them at. And, I could be all of their moms and whatever. And he just has a circle of friends. And so this kid, since he's moved to Houston, this kid will like come put the ring cameras up around the house for me and stuff like that. Or I refuse to go up in the attic. He'll go up in the attic and change the air filter for me and different things. You know what he wants in exchange? Uniced cookies. He loves undecorated cookies. So,
they're delectable. They have a place.
So it's a win-win. So I'm in the driveway. I'm talking to him. Get off the phone. I'm like wiping my face. I open the garage, pull into the garage, and normally I'll look over at the right side of the wall, and there's my Wi-Fi box, and that's my sign. When my window lines up with that, stop.
Hilarious.
This is going to get me Mom of the Year here. I accidentally hit the gas instead of the brake, and I drove through the garage wall.
Sharon.
And when I say through the garage wall,
Sharon.
I mean my Mustang was all in that bedroom.
Sharon.
You have no idea. The horrible part of this, I had just put this is a 5-bedroom house. That bedroom was empty. I literally just bought a bed to put in that room as a guest room. So now me driving through the wall, here's what happens. The totes that were in the garage that went through the wall before I went through the wall now pushed that bed from one side of the room through the closet of that into the closet of the room next.
No.
And I'm sitting there in my car like, oh my God, what just happened? Like, what? And I don't get out yet. I'm like, how the hell do I get out of here? So I put the car in reverse and go back out and I leave it in the garage and I jump out. Listen, my mind is not grasping. There's a live wire there.
Oh, no.
Never did I consider that.
I would never have thought of that either.
There's a lot to think about. That wasn't it.
Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed that this has happened. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting on FedEx to show up with this printer.
Oh, I forgot about the printer.
And I jump out of the car, and in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, is the house about to fall down? Like, I'm trying to process what happened. My hands are shaking. I am just a mess. And I'm like, I got to call my son. Like, wow, my God.
No.
So the first thing I do, I call my job and I'm like, or I text my manager a picture and I'm like, hey, I just texted her a picture of the wall and I was like, safe to say, I'm not about to log in. I'm sorry. I can't call you. I can't process what's going on. I got to go. Bye. And that was my text to her. And she didn't reply for like 3 hours. She didn't even know I hadn't logged in. And because she is so busy herself. And so she was like, oh my God, take a couple of days. Like, just let us know when you're in a good place and keep us posted on what's going on. I now have to call my son
to tell him.
I'm trying to FaceTime him.
It's his house. So it's his house, right? It's his house,
yes,
right?
It's his house. Yes. Now, the sad thing is he's at work. He's up in the tower. He's not supposed to take phone calls.
He's directing airplanes.
Yes. He is up in the tower. So they are not supposed to be on their phones when they're in the tower. So I have to send a text message saying, I have an emergency. I need you to answer this call. I'm not playing, like, answer the call.
Yeah.
So send the text message. He was like, okay, give me a minute to step out. And he calls me on FaceTime and he was like, what's going on? Are you okay? And I was like,
I'm fine, but
I think I'm okay, but
mm.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to tell you. And him being my son, and this is so funny because we are so opposite. I probably would have lost my crap if somebody else made this call to me. But and here's why he's an air traffic controller. He has this pleasant demeanor, and it takes a lot to trigger him. And he was like, I show him, and he was like, Mom, are you okay? It's just a house. Are you okay?
Oh,
He
boil
was
this
like,
man and send his clones into the world.
oh my God. He's like, my concern, are you okay though? And he was like, I'm going to call. And he says, he's like, I'm going to call Edward, which is the kid I just got a phone. And I was like, I was literally just talking to him. And so he's like, I'm going to call Edward and have him come check on you, blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, don't worry about it. We'll figure this out. Just make sure you're okay. And, you're going to say, I'm going to have Edward come over and we're going to close everything up. It's going to be okay. We can get this fixed. And I'm just bawling because I'm like, he should be going off on me, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, FedEx still hadn't made it here yet. Well, here's where I figure out like something isn't working now. I can't close the garage. So now you see my car in the garage.
Wow.
There's this huge hole in the garage wall. And now here comes FedEx.
Oh, no.
I don't know how to close the garage. Here's where I'm my mother because I don't know how to manually close the garage, right? And so the FedEx guy pulls up and he takes this down off and he's bringing it up the driveway and he's like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, tell me about it. And he's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, this is about an hour ago. I'm still shaking. I'm still mentally like, what just
You're
how did this happen?
In the extra bedroom still.
And so he moves the crate into like the other an empty part of the garage.
Shoot, I think it froze, but this is the ultimate.
Yeah, I know. The cliffhanger.
Oh, wait, she's back. She's back.
I'm sorry. So I haven't been into the house yet, right? And so he puts this down and I'm like, I can't close the garage. And he's like, you're going to have to close it manually. And I said, can you help me? And he said, I'm not allowed. He said, it would be a liability to FedEx. I can't. He said, but even if I close this manually, it's going to come down. How are you going to get in the house then? I was like, oh, good point. Because I usually enter the house through the garage. Do I have a key to the front? Yes, but I never use that.
Yeah.
And we have a storm door that is like a really solid storm door that you can't just come up and break the glass on that. It's going to require like one of those power rammers to pass it. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go inside. This is my first time going inside. Now here's where I realize a third of the house has no electricity.
Oh, no.
Girl.
Those 2 bedrooms that are faulty. The garage has no electricity. I've knocked out the Wi-Fi wires or whatever, or the wires that, go to the router where the router is.
Yeah.
That hallway has no electricity. The extra bathroom has no electricity. And I'm like, oh, this is so bad.
That's
like my son is going to be like, get the heck out of my house ASAP. Where am I going to go with all my cookie stuff? Like what?
Your 3,000 cookie cutters.
These are the thoughts running through my mind. Right. And so this happened in November. Little Blue sat in a crate in that garage. Probably until January.
Sharon, I'm going to tell you this. That's the best excuse. You're allowed this.
I'm going to allow that. That's not an excuse.
You are allowed to not take it out of the box.
Nextcuses does not apply to that. There is no Nextcuse for this because the priority now became we have to get a contractor out here. And man, that's a task in and of itself. Like there were people that came over and as soon as they heard insurance, which I made the claim on my car insurance, my son had called his homeowner's insurance and I was like, no, you will not do that. You will not take any hits on this. This is all me. It's my car insurance is how we're doing this. And so and his insurance agency actually scared the crap out of me, making me think it could be more than my car insurance allowed.
No way.
But it wasn't, right? So anyway, but you would have these contractors come over that as soon as they hear insurance,
they don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, no, they want it because
insurance. I worked in property.
It's in the cartoons where those eyes like pop out. That's what they see, like money. They're thinking, oh, we're going to clean up. I had one guy come to me and say, oh, yeah, we're going to take your insurance for all of it. And then if we have to, we'll go collect on his homeowner's insurance. We can replace the floors in here. We can give you one of those nice coated floors in the garage. And I was like, you get the hell out of here. I will not do business. No, I want this fixed. I don't want extra. We're not trying to scam anybody. You are not my contractor, right?
Wow.
I ended up, there's another small business here in the neighborhood that does contracting. I wanted to use him, although he had no availability. He recommended somebody else. We did have a professional electrician come back out. And so all of this got fixed within, we started in December. I was able to work. My job was so flexible with me, which is crazy because as a new employee and not knowing so much about SBA, they let me work 2 weeks from home, which is what the project was.
They wanted
targeted.
you.
Yes. And so I halfway wonder, though, with as much as I kind of talk back or question things or question their processes, because I do think this bank also makes things harder than they have to be. Now I wonder, like, do they ever question, like, man, why did we take her?
Oh, Sharon, this is a crazy story. So now
I have knocked out a lot of projects for them because I am so detail oriented, and I see processes there where I'm like, y'all work harder, not smarter. I don't want to do things multiple times. So let's work smarter, not harder. So anyway, so back to Little Blue. So Little Blue sat in the garage until January. The one thing I will say about Little Blue versus Eddie, your Eddie, you can pick up and you could go to the local school and print out cookies and say, oh, look at what I can put your picture on a cookie. Little Blue is still too big and too massive to do that. I had to go next door and get the neighbor to help me once I took the crowbar and pried the crate
I forgot about the crate.
I could not lift this thing by myself. So Little Blue is still pretty massive.
That is large.
He's got the best view in the house, I will say, though.
I know. Pretty awesome.
So Little Blue is still pretty massive. I could never, if they ever offered a smaller, like a mini Blue that was portable, I might try to capitalize on that. But right now, I still need to make Little Blue earn his money back for me. Now, what I have started doing, I have actually shot a few reels since our boot camp.
Good job. Nice.
I went ahead and I paid for CapCut just because I want all those neat templates. And I've filmed a few reels already. And what I have decided, I am very behind. I didn't participate in the Main Street collab, but I did finally just do. So where I work next door in the same building as me is a Aloft Hotel. I used Aloft Hotel as what I took the pictures of. And I printed those cookies. I've decided anything I'm doing for one of the collabs, or if I'm going to print cookie, or if I'm going to do cookies to make a reel from by going to visit, I'm only doing printed cookies. I'm not going to waste my time hand piping those. It doesn't let them see my hand pipe decorations, but I don't care for time purposes. This is what I'm going to do. So I printed my Aloft cookies. I threw those in a reel.
Nice.
Wait,
And I
she did the Main
posted.
Street collab like yesterday
Oh,
Yes, I
with
just
nice.
did
cookies.
it
She went,
yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
smart, smart.
Just did it yesterday. And I even said, I'm a month behind on this. I didn't use the Main Street collab hashtag because I feel like at this point, nobody's going to see it. And
Yeah.
no other bakers are going to go out there. And I'm not about to go hunting down their stuff from a month ago. But the other thing I capitalized on, just that boot camp has helped me so much. I went so here, DFW is pretty big. It's nothing compared to Houston, is what I'm learning. Like, I
Oh,
had
Okay.
no idea how big Houston was until now. I've had to literally try to go drive Houston.
wow.
I hate it. I hate it.
Everything's bigger in
Um,
Texas.
oh my God. Houston could easily swallow all of DFW and
No
its
way.
surroundings. It's nothing to go. What would take me maybe 30 minutes to drive here would easily take an hour in Houston. It's just so
Wow.
crazy. I have been down there and missed an exit because sometimes Google Maps will be like, in 2 miles, take this, veer right. But it doesn't say take the exit, it says veer right, right? And so then I drive past because I'm looking for the veer right versus an exit. And now in Houston, well, here in Fort Worth, oh, no big deal. Just go to the next exit.
Sure.
In Houston, that easily adds 20 or 30
Believe
minutes to your
it.
drive
Sure.
just to find a place to get off. So Houston is massive. But here in Fort Worth, so I'm in West Fort Worth, kind of closer to Aledo, which means nothing to y'all. But on the other side of downtown is a little city called Haltom City.
Okay.
I don't know why this has popped up in my news feed, but there is something called the Haltom City Rainbow House.
Okay.
And it is a homeowner, and it's hitting at the right time because what is this month? It's Pride Month, right?
Yeah.
And so it's hitting my news feed, and the homeowner decided he was going to paint a rainbow around his house. And I'm like, that's a cookie opportunity.
Yeah.
That is
That
a
is
real
Yeah.
great. We talked
opportunity.
about trends last week, and now you got it, which
Yes.
when you can
So
catch them.
Yes. So I chat GPT bestie, hey, look, here's a picture that other people have uploaded of the house. Help me design 6
Hilarious.
cookies. Um,
Perfect.
and it did. It gave me a Texas that had like the pride flag on it, and it says y'all means all.
Oh, cute.
It gave me a heart cookie with the rainbow smear that
Yeah.
Oh, the
is
smear.
love
Yeah.
lives here.
Did you
It
print
gave
these?
me, yes, I
Oh,
did. I
nice.
printed all
Nice.
6.
Did you take
Um,
them to the
I
house?
did. I did. So I
Oh,
actually reached out to, because they have a Facebook page that is the Haltom City Rainbow House, reached out. And here's the thing, they have become, I really expected this place is going to get hate. This is Texas, and I'm sorry,
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
Texas.
But I'm sure they just had
MAGA
open
is
open arms to you though for that. That's
Well,
amazing.
they're getting open arms is what's amazing. The city has embraced them. The city has not. They're getting support from the city. They're getting support from the community. So much to the point that this guy has had to say,
Stop.
please don't stop here during the
oh, because it's
week.
a
Oh,
house.
You're
that's
So
welcome to
somebody
come
living.
here.
on the
You're welcome to
weekend.
come here
You
10
are.
to 4
That's great.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Smart.
I want to tell
You're
anyone
putting
who's listening,
us.
the collabs are great and we like to plan them and we do them once per month because that's manageable. But if you miss a collab, there's no reason why you can't go off and take the marketing know-how from the collab and do it on your own time. We have a collab that's actually coming up on Friday. It's one of the easier ones. It's Meet the Baker collab and you just snap a photo of yourself and then
Any
your
cookie.
copy, the
Any cookie.
caption is
You have
going to tell about you. You're going to connect with your audience, tell your backstory, why you do what you do, your reason behind your bakery. And it's a great way to use these as excuses. But that happens on Friday. That doesn't mean you don't have to do the collab every quarter till next year. It's a
well,
great excuse.
Corey does an intro, Meet the Baker post probably once a quarter. And then Sharon, which was exactly what we said, is that the Main Street collab concept is a great way to get corporate orders if you just keep doing it around your local area. Well, okay, Sharon, if you could only ever do corporate orders or customs, which one would you pick if you could only pick one or the other?
Oh, now that I have unboxed Little Blue, I'm here for corporate all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
I'm here for corporate all day.
do you feel like your day job, which is constantly meeting small business owners, could be incorporated into the lead gen, or is that like cross contamination? You can't do that.
I am afraid to cross contaminate.
Yeah.
Now,
Or
one thing I will say, is like the loans I've closed, I want to like cookie them so bad. The funny thing is the first loan that I closed, was a business that is actually in Tomball, Texas, which is where my son currently
Oh,
lives.
yeah.
So the funny thing is, I go visit him the day before his fiance is supposed to go to be induced, and we all say, "Hey, let's go get our nails done." I'm like, man, this street sounds so familiar.
Oh,
Why
that's
why
so
would I know this
funny.
street? Never make the connection about Tomball. I am in this nail shop and I come out and I'm like, this is bothering me. Like, how would I know this street name? And I go across the street to the HEB, which we love HEBs here, HEB
Yeah.
grocery stores. I park and I look back across the street where I just was. There is the franchise
That's so
that you
funny.
closed one of your first guys.
That's so
Congrats so
funny. Well, you
quickly.
right
must have
in
felt like a
front of
proud
me.
mom. I helped.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of proud, but it's also
Yeah.
like, and so I'm like, oh, this is going to be weird if I just pop over there. And she may not be in there anyway,
Yeah, sure.
the borrower.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, when I go back to work, next time I log back on, I'm just going to email her. And I took a picture and I email her this picture and I was like, am I
That's so
stalking
cute.
you or am I not stalking you? Like, and she replies back and she was like, how'd you get this picture? And I said, well, small
stalked you.
world, my son lives like 5 minutes from here now. And so she's like, oh, next time you're in, stop by. I haven't done that yet, but I'm sitting here thinking like, I want to make her cookies. I've closed her loan. I've closed like a glow tanning loan that's here. And I'm like, I could put all their stuff on a cookie,
You could.
but I am afraid of cross contamination. Like I don't want my job to say,
Yeah.
hey, we didn't hire you for
You're
you to go
double
push
dipping.
your cookies. So what I have done though, the location I'm at, so Fort Worth is, known as Funky Town. They're known as like Panther Island. Purple is a big color here because of TCU. So my location twice a year does a Purple Panther Award.
Cute.
I took the opportunity. I'm on the committee of picking who wins it. Like I'm on the culture committees and stuff at work. And so I took the opportunity to say, why aren't we recognizing nominees versus just the person who gets the award? Oh, well, how can we do nominees? Oh, I'll tell you how. I'll print you a cookie. And I'm actually and I gave those 7 cookies away for free, but I did like this big scalloped cookie. Called my Chat GPT bestie. Hey, help me design a cookie for this. And it came out fabulous. And they were so impressed by it. And so then I can say, hey, if you ever see an opportunity where you could throw me out, because my bank has just partnered with like PBR, which is the Professional Bull Riding Association, is a big client for the bank.
Oh,
hey, if
that was going to be a beer, but I like that.
where
It's so
maybe you can throw me out to PBR for something, or maybe I gift you a few cookies for you to take to PBR. And then they're going to be like, oh, put me in touch with this cookie lady. Like if there are those opportunities, I don't consider that cross contamination, but me just going on my own, I do feel like that's kind of, I don't know, is that a morality thing? Is work ethic maybe? There is something there that I don't want to necessarily use it to my advantage. So.
Well, Sharon, this has been amazing. I know I'm going to cut you loose.
I love the car in the house. That was great.
We couldn't have asked for a better first-time person to speak on this. I'm going to cut you loose. Me and Heather have to film the first part and the last part to this, and then Heather's going to do some voodoo work and put it all stitched correctly. But Sharon, thank you so much for being on here. I You're a great storyteller. I don't know if you knew that, but you had us the whole time.
We love you. We
I
love the sun.
ramble
We
way
love
too
Eddie.
much.
We love the FedEx guy. We love them all. Okay, thank you, Sharon. I'm going to boot you, and then we're going to record the rest of the podcast.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank
Sorry I
you,
rambled so much.
Sharon. You're so
Take care.
fun. Bye. 3, 2, 1. Here's the twins
We're
again.
back.
That was a hilarious story. Thank you so much, Sharon. And thank you for everyone who has volunteered to be on the podcast. This went great. So I'm going to be reaching out to more of you. See how easy peasy that was?
Easy peasy. Sharon was a natural gifted talker, though, and she had a storytelling ability like none other. I didn't feel like me and you had to do any work. We were
I
just
also feel
listeners.
extremely boring. I'm going to just run my
We're
car
all,
into something.
yeah,
Something.
I know. Give us
I
some
need to
content.
I need the sun to write a book on that level of composure.
Whatever that is,
Could
whatever,
you have kept your cool if Archer called? No, the
with
answer was
something
no.
so big, I would hope that I can. The thing is that while
Insurance is there
and
for a
that's what
reason.
insurance is there for, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. If Arch gets in a little fender bender, I might be.
Corey, you have
I
gotten
can't.
into
I don't
Fendi
know.
Bendies
I don't
yourself.
know future.
Sometimes I want to tell you, I'm going to tattle on Corey. She'll do something or drop something or spill something, and I
Yeah.
just look at her and be like, "You would yell at Archer for this." She doesn't yell at him, but I just like to add the pressure, like, but
Good thing my name ain't Archer.
Corey, okay, we're going to back to the Cookie College boot camps, which you heard Sharon mention. She took the and she if I didn't have a fire under my bun hiney before, and now I do, because Sharon's out there just recording everything.
Yeah.
It's great. And I did watch her first video. She posted it in the Sugar Cookie marketing group, I think,
Yes, she did.
where she goes to the waffle cabin. I wonder what waffle classical music sounds like now.
But what
Uh,
I appreciate about Sharon and the boot camp is, and she liked that podcast about Nextcuses. A lot of people are like, I'm too technology, technically challenged. I don't want to learn something new. But I want to say, if you don't put yourself out there to learn something new, it's going to leave you behind. Video, unfortunately, is where the world's going. AI can't do video quite yet. You are the secret sauce in your business. So you being on camera and showcasing where you live, where you work, what you do is a great way to differentiate you from the person down the street. And Sharon was able to take the video boot camp course. She used CapCut, and we do cover what CapCut is in the course. I actually use InShot. They are comparable apps, but both of them have a payment thing. And since she started with CapCut, she just went with CapCut. I started with InShot. That's the only reason I stayed with InShot. But both of them can be used to create these videos for social media.
Speaking of how technology ever changes, I make these dumb little like recap videos when we go on a family trip. Nobody ever sees these. It's really just for Corey to watch 2 years from now and then
Yeah.
tear up a little bit, I guess. So Corey said, make one for the beach trip. And I was like, okay. Because it's the first time all our family schedules have aligned. So it was the original 6 miracles are back on a trip, but now we're all in our 40s, 50s, and 60s. And this is the first video I've ever made that I filmed completely vertically.
Yeah.
Horrifying,
Yeah.
really, realization there.
Yeah.
So typically you do 1920 by 1080, the YouTube, the TV size. But I said nobody will watch this on a TV. They'll watch it on their phones.
And you're right. That's where I got the video and watched it, was on my phone, sitting on the floor.
So Corey, you have a roomie review. I'm gonna let
I
you read that. I think it's
do.
from the boot camp. I'm gonna grab a Coke. I'm trying to get over my sultry voice. I know Corey said keep it, but
Okay. So the boot camp is beginner friendly. So if you're already making videos proficiently, you're not going to necessarily get a ton out of it, but we do talk about marketing strategy. What we do in this is I guide you from step one, how to import your clips into InShot, how to film your clips so they're nice, crystal clear. And then we start doing things like muting the clips or adding text over the clips. Kristen is actually one who has really taken to that entire thing. And here's her roomy review. She said, Corey and Heather, I don't know what kind of voodoo you do, but as of right now, I have 3,066 views on my IG cookie page. I uploaded a video I created with the techniques you taught us, and oh my goodness, I've never had this many views on IG. I'm off to edit another video. That is the thing is, you can take all the courses, you can sign up for the Cookie College, you can sign up for the boot camp, but unless you put it into practice, unless you fumble a little bit and you finally get your sea legs under you, you'll not that it'll be as if it didn't matter if you took those things. Kristen, you have Sharon, and you have Heather, who are my babies, who actually took what they learned and put it into practice, and they've saw a boon from it in their business. I asked people yesterday in the sugar cookie marketing group, what's your biggest struggle right now when it comes to your bakery business? And a ton of them said marketing. I'm going to tell you right now, video is where marketing is. So if you are not
Wow.
creating video, you are leaving so much reach, engagement, and orders on the table. Do I wish video wasn't the main game right now? I do wish that because I hate always filming. But I love watching videos. I love watching them. Let me glimpse into the
How
life of somebody
sweet
else. So that is my
they
roomie review. If you want
sound.
to, the boot camps are $13. You can get the ones that I've already done, which we just finished up the video one, so you can snag that one. We did in-person cookie classes at the beginning of the year. We did pre-sales, which was I want to say February or March, and then we did a 3D printing, which Heather did, which was phenomenal.
Brody.
Her little baby student for that one.
Uh-huh. I was humming Amazing Grace there because you kind of had it into an altar call.
I know. My
Hey,
last
hey.
thing, if
Oh.
you like the boot camps are $13 and now there's a few to choose from. If you just join the Cookie College, you get all the boot camps that have happened for the price of the Cookie College. So it actually saves you a bundle to just sign up for the Cookie College and not just buy those boot camps individually.
Yes, and if you sign up, we're actually the Midsummer membership sale is the only other sale we run outside of the Vendy Blendy, and you'll be able to get those boot camps included. I'll have more information coming at you soon. But the next boot camp, I know you might think this is weird, not weird, a little bit more niche. It is cracking community groups. So July is a slow month for a lot of bakers, mostly because their clients are out of town or we're out of town or just a natural lull of holidays in July leading into August, it's the best time to start laying the groundwork, or if we want to talk about my landscaping, laying the sod that will take root in Q4, which is the cookie Super Bowl. A lot of people say, "Oh, my market's so saturated, and Facebook groups are so saturated," and they are. That's not wrong. So, how do you stand out amongst the crowd? And this is what that boot camp's going to show you. I can teach it proficiently because Corey has made me run a community group. We're in a place I don't live for the last 3 years, four
I
years.
did. 4 years.
It's been a while. It's been a while talking to these people I don't know. So, kind of telling you the strategy behind creating these relationships. So this is a relationship-based marketing approach, but it really turns these Facebook groups into astroturfing. Grassroots, boots on the ground. Get those recommendations that you are so envious of all these other bakers getting tagged.
Yeah.
That's how you do
Yeah.
that. That will be July 2nd. And you can purchase that now at thecookiecollege.com/bootcamp6/buy, or just go to thecookiecollege.com. After that, an exciting one, another one of my babies. We're doing Procreate Basics. Procreate is a design app on iPad. It is extremely powerful app, and it's only like $10. But you could just do anything with it. In fact, I'm designing some cookie class kits for Corey. She's been my boss recently.
I have.
And we sat down and I pulled up Procreate and we went through some sketches together. And she's like, change this, change that. And I don't like that. I don't like that. So we were using that to come up with some of the cookie class kits. So you can use the same concepts that we're using to design the class kits to design sets for your clients. And Procreate is very forgiving. In fact, I know mostly how to fix problems, not how to design
Oh,
anything.
that's great. Yeah, because I don't know how to draw anything.
I sometimes watch people draw on it and I'm like, shoot, I didn't know the nose had gray in it. Like they're seeing shadows and I'm seeing like
Yeah.
my skin is 10. Like, that's just one color. They're like, no, it's 50 color. Okay. That's why what I draw looks like a stick figure. But Procreate is definitely got some sleight of hand that makes you look better than you are. I can say that because it makes me look better than I am. We'll talk about that in our August Procreate class. And in September, we had actually, Corey, I did look up what you came up with. You wanted to do a Google Business Profile Optimization Bootcamp.
Yeah, that one is how I've been getting my corporate orders. So I actually have gotten partnered with this corporation in Washington, D.C., and I'm
Isn't
like
it crazy?
waiting.
Corey was floating around the pool and she's like, I got a lead. And she's like, they wanted immediate turnaround time and have to bake the Saturday we got back, which was this past Saturday. And they want me to deliver to DC and I don't want to. So she tells them like, blah, blah. And what was the story of it?
I couldn't deliver to DC. The money just it would eat up any profit, and I
Corey hates
unwillingly wouldn't want
DC.
to charge them to go to DC myself. They got a courier service that ended up picking them up, but she was like, the cookies were perfect. It was a quick turnaround time, two designs, but Corporate orders are nice because it's easier. You're not having to come up with six different designs per set. And they typically order more than just one dozen. So you could get the two, 3 dozen. I did a order for Coach. She found me on Google. That was a 4 dozen cookie order. And the people are really easy to please. It's a different vibe than just custom orders where you're doing like B2C, B2B, business to business. They kind of understand like the limitations. Like I can make this happen in a day, but the designs are going to be fairly easy. And they're like, whatever, just make it happen. And that's where I
She
wouldn't
said,
get
make it
those
happen or
leads.
make it happen.
Make it happen. I wouldn't get those leads if it wasn't for Google My Business.
Well, that's another thing with Sharon, and she is the small business loan, like she's the SBA.
Yeah.
Getting these printers that print, they just open up these doors, and they ain't cheap. She spent 5,000, Eddie's 3,000. I don't know what ink edibles is. Is that the wrong one? What I'm saying?
No, it's in intricate edibles.
She said that was the most expensive of the three. So
Yeah.
these are not for the faint of monetary heart. However, these corporate orders really, I mean, how much did Coach, how much was your Coach contract?
I want to say it was 550, 600 with
All right. So,
I
and
did
then,
deliver those. Yeah.
and I would love to know what her 30 dozen paid out.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Could
So
not
a lot of
imagine.
times I see people like, hey, I'm taking that risk and the buying, investing in this piece of equipment that isn't cheap, but it's paying out. The margins of, like Corey said, the company she's working with is like, there's no budget. We just want the thing. And I
Yeah.
worked for, when I worked in property restoration, so I do I know a little bit what she's talking about. When we worked for them, it was like, hey, I don't care about the money. I want the problem solved. And that's the
Yeah.
difference between the customs where everyone's like, hey, this is the shade of maroon I want versus corporate who's like, "How can you get these tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah. A different thing. And I could see it why a lot of people like to focus on corporate orders. So that would be how to get those corporate orders coming to you versus you having to go get them. Granted, you'll have to do some marketing where you do a little bit of both,
Darn
but
it, really? I thought we could just not market. I thought we could just set it and forget it.
I'm so sorry. That's not how this
Yeah. The
works.
unfortunate part of the boot camps is you got boots on the ground after the boot camp ends. So
Yeah.
Sharon's going out there recording herself at a Waffle House, going to this homeowner's house and reaching out to them. It does put you out of your comfort zone. Corey, you had to do, you went to the Romulations and put yourself out of your comfort zone. But such is standing out. And really, for the past week at the beach, Corey and I really talked about this kind of video marketing forward approach to a lot of this, and it's pushing out your comfort zone. That's why it's working, because your competition isn't doing it. It's too
Yeah.
uncomfortable for them. It's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for Corey, but it makes a huge difference in terms of the reach.
Yeah. Yeah. It really does. It does.
Okay, that is great. So if you guys want to check out the boot camps, you can always go to thecookiecollege.com. The whole platform had a bit of a facelift over the weekend, and it's brought in a lot more of a community vibe to it on the platform. So we
I
reviewed
saw
that.
you can have a little profile on there.
You did. I had to upload my little picture. Going to the gossip column. Nobody texted in, but I was just going to gossip about something I read in another group. It was this other group, and it was the age old, the client says, hey, the cookies taste like soap. So if you don't know what happens with that, there's a couple different reasons. It seems like the primary reason is that almond extract, which does not contain almonds, can taste like soap. It's this cilantro issue where
Yeah.
cilantro tastes like what, soap to people? I
I
don't
think
like
it tastes
the taste of
also like
it.
soap to people.
I dated somebody and he was like, I love cilantro. And I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I wish I loved it. So the client says, hey, the cookies taste like soap. And then there's the a caveat, if you're using a baking mat and you washed it and you didn't get the soap off,
Yeah.
I guess
I
it could.
mean, one time back when I first started baking, and this is why I don't let anyone in the kitchen if I'm baking cookies. My husband made a ham, like a baked ham in the oven, but I was making these carrot-shaped cookies for Easter. They were just for my family, but I brought them the next day to their house. But when I bit into the carrot cookie, it tasted like ham.
I froze. I'm not sure. So
Now
that
you're not frozen,
he's
but it's
working
fine.
on it. This is as
It's
bad
working.
as we're gonna get it
That's
because
fine.
he's
That's
pretty
totally
good.
fine.
What I was gonna say is, did you throw away the big mat?
No, it wasn't the baking mat. It's
Oh,
that I cooked next to a ham and the cookies
yeah.
leached that smell. So if you have a candle, if you have an air freshener, you got to be careful with those things. The cilantro tasting and the almond tasting thing, that is subject to someone's taste buds. So you can't look at anyone and be like, your taste buds are broken. But bakers love to argue that the customers are making it
Okay,
up.
but
So
this is the funniest part is okay, everyone, the customer is always trying to, I know I'm a big black blob, but you're gonna have to be okay with this. It doesn't like the backlist. There you go.
better.
So the thread was like the customer is trying to steal money from you. And the reason why this looks so crazy is just the cats are so crazy. So I gave
Just
the
go,
cats a
just be
choice.
back to your bad self, man.
So Corey and I say, yes, there's some bad apples. There are some clients who are trying to, but I'll say probably the largest, overwhelming large majority of the people who engage and place orders with your business just want the cookies. Maybe you get one or two. Maybe you get one or two people who are just that. However, the comment section was like, this person is trying to steal from you. They want the cookies for free. This is their plan all along. They researched the soap excuse. And so this was an unmoderated group. So the comment section just,
Crazy.
heck in a handbasket. And then this one solution, I just thought it just made me giggle a little bit. They were like, of course, it was an anonymous penguin 557, whatever. And it was like, hey, you should bake an extra cookie and decorate it for every set. When the client picks up the order, make them eat that cookie in front of you and state if they're happy with the taste or not. And if they say they're happy with it, they can no longer ask for a refund. I was like, you know what? I guess that would work. But it would just
Could
it's
you
so funny.
imagine going to Chili's Bar and Grill and saying, the cheese wasn't good on my cheese pull mozzarella sticks, and they say, bring one out from the back. We're bringing the chef, we're bringing the manager and your waitress. You must eat this and tell us you hate it to
Give
our
me,
face.
give me that cheesy mozzarella stick. I hate this. You just give me a little giggle gaggle. I don't believe most of our clients, I do not believe all clients are without their issues, and I do believe there are bad apples floating around there for sure.
Oh, sure.
But I think that making every single one of them eat in front of you would be so funny.
That would be funny. Like, would I offer her a seat on my
Delectable.
couch while she ate it? Would she come into my kitchen
Would
to
you
munch
charge
on
them for
them?
the extra cookie, the extra test forced to eat cookie?
What if they
To
looked at me
buy
and were
it.
like, yeah, I don't like this one either? Oh, shoot.
Like that. What if it was like they were never going to eat it? They were gifting it. We had to get the gift receiver there, get their butt right here, right
Yeah,
now.
whoever said it tasted like soap, get them in here. And they're like, but that was my kid at college. Get him back.
That's so funny. So funny. Upcoming events, collabs. We have the Meet the Baker collab, which is on Friday. If you've already signed up for that, you have gotten your reminder emails and the copy templates. If you said, "Oh, Heather, I missed the sign up window, but I do want to participate," go to Sugar Cookie Marketing's Facebook group, go to the events tab, go to that collab event, and in the pinned comment section, I have pinned those. Last
I want to add
collab.
to this though.
Aw,
If you're joining the Meet the Baker collab, me and Heather cannot guarantee that you will show up for the hashtag. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is if you are participating and you're getting comments on your post, I want you to click to the comments on your post that we know are from other bakers and go and comment on theirs. That's like a surefire way to make sure that you're reaching people, even if their post isn't showing up under the hashtag. I can't force it to show up on people's phones. And there's a weird way, like, someone had it scheduled so the post didn't show up under the hashtag. I have no control over that. But what I did do to make myself be able to find them is if they commented on my post, I actually clicked their name, went to their profile, found their post, and it'll be the Meet the Baker one. So it'll be easy to spot because it'll be their face, and then commented that way. That's a surefire way to not miss anyone that has commented on your things by finding them. Yeah.
I made that.
You're no longer audio. You click something when you just touched your microphone there for that 2 seconds. Heather has a spreadsheet that you can access if you want to. It's a few extra steps because you're having to click to it, but it does exist out there. Do you think you can talk now?
I think so.
Now you can.
Okay. Wild technology, man. Wild technology. But yeah, I did make that spreadsheet hyperlink. So now you can download it and click on them. That's how I'm going to do it on Friday.
And going forward, the next collab after that, Heather, I feel like because you're sick, like I don't know where your brain is. The next sentence is coming, but
I
you're
know.
like,
I'm so sorry. You're doing great.
yes. The next collab. I don't know if we can talk about this. The next collab is going to be a cookie that hobby. The great thing about being a baker is we can turn anything into edible artwork. Our goal is to let people get to know the person behind the baking account. You make birthday cookies, you make wedding shower cookies, but what if we turned a cookie into the hobbies that you enjoy most? So Heather's doing this rug tufting, making rugs. We would just take a plaque is the goal, and we'll have the details more in there. And then you're going to put on there the things that are hobbies to you. I like walking my dog, so you're going to see a little bulldog on there with a leash on him, and it's going to showcase that I like walking my dog. But I also like walking. So maybe I'll do a path, like a path in Lake Ridge. I don't know what it'll be,
Oh,
but it'll
so
be your
sad.
hobbies on there. Photography, I might put a camera on there. I have to really come in tune with what my hobbies are. Our goal is to not just showcase that you like baking sugar cookies. Our goal is to let people get to know the baker behind the cookies so they can connect with you. Mahjong is really big now. If you're a Mahjong player and someone's like, oh, you play, I play, you've created a connection that can end up in a sale or end up in a referral or a tag in a group. And that's the goal behind this next one.
I like one. Well, you're going to limit the signups to this one, I think was to 30. That way we can kind of figure out this hashtag issue. I hate for people to put in all this effort and then not get any engagement. So if we can limit it and then force the people that are there to really kind of show up,
Yeah.
increase that participation rate, and that would be great. Next up, the CookieCon happy hour is very soon. So I can't believe we're already here. I
I
think
see
CookieCon
people
is
packing for it right
I
now.
know. Oh, I hate packing. I hate packing. Corey's son packed two outfits for 6 days. He watched my house. Too close.
Let me tell you, he smelled like that too. The CookieCon Happy Hour is hosted by Heather Campbell Brookshire. She is a Disney adult, but also a Disney planner. And if you are looking to meet two very happy go lucky, I don't think anything negative has happened in their life. They've never frowned. Kim Sims is going to be there and Heather Campbell Brookshire, and they're going to be leading this meetup. Heather, tell us where they can find the meetup.
If you go again to the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, go to the events tab, you'll find Heather Campbell Berkshire. One, you could just summon her. She just appears everywhere. I think if you click your shoes together 3 times, she shows up in
Yeah.
your living room with the monorail dress on. But go there. She's making a ton of comments. They're willing to help you through everything. She's posting in multiple groups. I think CookieCon attendees group. I'd recommend if you are attending CookieCon, you can now join the CookieCon attendees group. It's not our group, but it's their group. It's CookieCon's group. You just have to match your ticket to an email address, and you can see that Heather's posting there as well. It's also a great way when the event is happening to kind of stay on top of what's going on. Like if
Yeah.
there's a quick announcement they need to push
Yeah,
out.
connect with people, ask where things are. It's a great resource. But meet Heather, meet Kim. They're as nice as pie. You won't find nicer people out there, and they're the sponsors of the happy hour.
Great people. And after that, we have the Midsummer Membership Sale. I'll post more about that coming up. So stay tuned for that. It's the only sale we run outside of the second sale, the Vendy Blendy, which is way too far away to think about. Thank goodness.
Yes,
I guess I got to start promoting it soon, though. We said in August.
in August, not a day before. I don't even want you to ask me about it.
I don't even want to. I think most of the people are out of school now, right? Safe to say?
Well, our counties around me have ended last Friday, so people are
Yeah. That
outbound.
one's a hard one for me to put on a list, but we are there, right there, or you're past it, or it's coming.
Sure.
Father's Day is this weekend. Don't forget to say I love you to your father. I got Dad a card, and it is a cat sitting in a litter box. He cleans the
I
litter.
know exactly. I've seen that.
I
I've
said thanks
seen
for
that
putting up
card.
with the bar up. Summerween is in 2 weeks. That's not a major holiday, but we're trying to force it because we want something to bake for. 4th of July, which is also America's 250th birthday, is in 3 weeks, and then National Cookie Day, nothing there, but I would like it to be something. 3 weeks, then a massive lull through all of July and all of August for any major federal holidays, and then it's back to school.
Yeah, back to school. I see people actually going back to school on July 22nd. I've seen
Are you
cookies
kidding
with
me?
baking for it. No.
Oh, I'd be so
So
upset.
it's going to be staggered. I know our kids go back end of August. So we have some prep time for that, and that will be absolutely a blast to send them back.
Okay, moving on to the STL Me About It segment. I got a cool update from Cookie Design Lab. I also think they've rebranded a little bit. The name's the same, but the logo's changed. But I just got
Nice.
that email. It says, for your upcoming podcast, can you mention that Cookie Design Lab will be at CookieCon? We'll be in booth 105, and we're giving away a Bamboo A1 Mini in addition to exclusive discounts and demos of the software.
Let me tell you, I am a cookie design lab believer.
I know.
I don't want something to have a huge learning buy-in. Like I don't want to spend hours and hours learning something new. Cookie Design Lab is not hours and hours to learn something new, but I've been doing the Main Street marketing just like Sharon. I've been doing it outside of the collab and I've been using my Design Lab subscription to cookify people's logos. So I could put their logos on a plaque, but how cool is it to make the shape of their logo, cookie that, bring it over to them, and create a relationship that way?
I love it. So, and also if you text in, she says, not all of you guys are claiming your wins here. No, we got a ton of texting questions, but if you text into the podcast and you're selected, you get a month of Cookie Design Lab for free. Even if you already pay for it, they can tag that month onto the end. So just email heather@sugarcookiemarketing.com and I'll hook you up with that Cookie Design Lab. One, two, three, four, five, six texting questions. Who is the magic number?
4.
One, two, three, four. It's a 717-717. Kristen from Kristen's Cookies Cottage. Please email me, heather@sugarcookiemarketer.com, and you can get your month of Cookie Design Lab. She says, besties, this is your bestie, Kristen from Kristen's Cookie Cottage. We're actually kind of neighbors. I'm just 90 miles north of you in Chambersburg, PA. Think Gettysburg, PA, as a widely known historic landmark. Hello, neighbor. Hello, hat. Heaven help me. What is the name of the app or program you mentioned on the pod where you can accept customer student info from Jotform and have that information transferred to Excel spreadsheet automatically? I taught my very first public cookie class yesterday. Thank you, girls, for all the info, inspiration, and materials. I grabbed the contact information using my iPad in Jotform in a kiosk mode. I didn't work as planned. Technology never does. But I needed to transfer to my customer contact spreadsheet now. Advice, help. I have plenty of love to give, so no favorites here. Love you both. I love that question. I actually told you it connects to, and the app is called Zapier, Zapier.com, Zapier.com. It connects to online things. So yes, I'm really talking more about Google Sheets. It can connect to that. Can it connect to an Excel spreadsheet? Yeah, but you'd have to use, and it used to be called SharePoint. You'd have to use Microsoft Office Online to get it connect to an Excel spreadsheet. That's going to be a little bit more advanced, but definitely doable. What I would probably do is have it connect to a Google Sheet, have that Google Sheet just mirror what your Excel spreadsheets columns are, and just copy and paste that over when you need to.
Yeah.
Because typically I have my Excel spreadsheets always local storage, so I don't have them even synced up to the cloud, risky. But then I'll have a Google Sheet that I'll just paste that information. So it still is an extra step, but doable.
Nice. That's a great
However,
question. And congrats. Sorry.
if you just use Google Sheets, then you don't need the extra step.
Okay. Congrats on your first class. So proud of you. That's amazing. And your customer follow-up will lead to customer retention. So way to go on that one. I could take a note out of your book.
I know Sharon was very organized as well. Another texting question. Hi, twins. One of my favorite episodes was Too Busy, Too Business. I was hoping you could revisit some of your solutions in a future pod. Thank you so much for everything, Sarah. I had to actually look this up. Too Busy, Too Business was Corey had gotten bogged down. I think it was episode 179 or something. She had gotten bogged down and somebody had sent a message and she didn't get back to them in time. So we were saying, like, what ways can you kind of create buffers so that the clients aren't like, where are you?
Yeah, flying blind here. I thought you wanted my business and I've heard nothing but cricket.
So great. I'll add that to the list of more ways we can buy back time and look a little better. Because
Yeah.
listen, life happens. That's for sure. You know, sometimes we just run our cars through our houses and we have to buy back sometimes. So having these kind of little fail safes in there, and the key is, and I'm learning this one, is don't forget them when you need to update them again later. Those
Yes. Yeah.
vacation away messages you guys have set up when I send out the newsletter. Remember those. So here's a great feedback one. This is just kind from Illinois. Dear favorite twins, thank you for the boot camps. Even if you think no one's listening, there are background lurkers like myself who somehow absorb some little nuggets of info and run with it. I was late to the video making boot camp and the Main Street collab, but since I'm a Cookie College roomie, I have the comfort of knowing I can go back in my spare minutes. I took heart in your previous podcast about showing our real selves in the world of AI, so I decided to get off my booty and try making a reel. Awkwardness and Kermit voice, who cares? That's me. I saw that a favorite small business was doing a bookstore crawl, so I made a logo cookie of each of the four participants and filmed myself at each stop. Not only did each store share my reels, it
Wow.
gained more views than any previous attempt, increased my followers, and resulted in 3 bulk event orders. So thank you for what you do, even if you don't think it's going out into the void. We're here. We're listening. P.S. If you want to see my second part small biz collab reel attempt, my IG is Ohana Party Company.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that
But
is great.
guys, I'm saying
I know. Put
because
yourself out there.
being on social media, we are all on social media. So now what is the next thing people aren't doing? It's creating videos. So if you feel like the world's oversaturated because everyone's in a Facebook group, be on a video in the Facebook group and you're going to set yourself apart.
Okay, last one I'll read. Thank you guys so much for texting in. The phone number is 571-556-5644. I think as they lower me into the grave and they'll be like, do you have any last words? I'll be like 571-556-5644. Hi, twins. If you haven't sent out a newsletter in around 8 to 9 months, very big life changes got in the way, and I'm still on break. I'm just planning my comeback. Is your email list still good, or do I need to scrap it and start over? Thanks in advance for everything you do. Kelsey from Texas. Kelsey from Texas. I would say your email list is still good. What's going to happen when you send out that first blast is people are going to unsubscribe. And that is their thanks to you, if you can reframe it that way. Otherwise, you'll get your feelings hurt. 9 months is a lot of time. You could have moved, you could have divorced, you could have changed jobs, you could have done all these things. So those people unsubscribing are basically like, hey, girl, haven't heard from you. My life changed as well. And I'm no longer interested. Another wild thing, while I was at the beach, I was checking my email, my personal one. And I'd signed up for Steve Madden to get a discount code, the shoe store. And it said at the top of my inbox, you have not opened these emails in quite some time. The Google Gmail AI said, would you like to unsubscribe right now? Just click this button.
Yeah.
So unsubscribing is these platforms know we're not opening them. So they're making it easier to unsubscribe, but it's actually going to save us, the senders, money because we pay for those email addresses that we're never going to open. So
Yeah, so
don't
look
scrap
at
the
it.
list. Go ahead.
Look at it as a positive and not a negative. If you look at it as a negative, you're going to stop sending out emails because it hurt your feelings. But look at it as a positive. The people are telling you we're no longer your ideal audience. So carry on, find someone new to take my spot.
And we meet some people and they're like, I have this list and it has a bunch of people I don't want to, and then they have to go through and manually delete it. They're going to self-delete, which is great. So no, don't scrap the list. It's still a strong list if you have them from past orders. Absolutely. Just expect that first email is going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride.
A little bump.
Maybe,
Nothing bad.
maybe the email sender shouldn't tell us as soon as we log in how many people unsubscribed. Maybe it's that.
Maybe they should leave that under like click here to see unsubscribe so you can like brace yourself.
Maybe so. Quit. This podcast has actually gone to 2 hours. That's why my camera canceled. Quit, but I loved it. I love the Sharon part of this. This was so fun.
Sharon's was the most fun part of this. Me and you are just snooze fest right at this point.
I'm actually going to cut out the snooze fest part. I'm not going to do Twinterest or Twintellect. Unless you got something burning.
I don't have anything burning in my snooze fest of life.
Yeah, I have nothing going on, folks. I had a nice little shrimp at the beach. That's about it. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Collab Friday, 11 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there. There is a hashtag you need to use. Go to the Sugar Cookie Marketing Facebook group, go up to the events tab, click events. It's the next one happening, and it will tell you everything you need to know to be involved in that collab. Corey, thank you so much for filling in the gaps between my head cold. I seem to be collecting them. You've done great. You've done great. I would subscribe to your podcast.
Bye.